everyone, and welcome to Becca Maroney, episode 2. At the end of episode 1, our small West African boy, our educated surgeon, was just about to call Cassandra. Hello again.
Hello, why can't I see you?
Why can't I see you? It's very rude to mute your microphone. If you're going to call and just mute your microphone, I don't want to talk to you again.
Show your face, show your face.
No, I can't see yours.
Well, if you show me yours, I'm going to open up the camera right now.
Well, that's tough, because I'm not going to show you mine. Please stop muting your microphone, it's extremely rude.
What is wrong? I don't know what is wrong with you. What is really wrong? I've tried all my best to explain things to you. You keep on telling me you don't understand the things I explain to you. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I haven't said I don't understand anything. I keep asking you to talk to me. I keep asking you.
Okay.
I keep asking you not... Shut up. I keep asking you not to disrespect me by talking semi-literate rubbish and sounding like a small West African boy. I keep asking you to talk to me like a proper, mature, educated surgeon, and you keep disrespecting me by not doing it. That's what's wrong. Shut up till I've finished.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if I disrespect you. Well, the reason why I can't be able to respond to some of your messages is because at that point, I'm at my working place, and I told you that I still have some few hours before I will be done with my work. Did I not told you that?
I never said that you weren't responding to my messages. You're clearly reading that off a sheet. You told me you were doing very little at work today, so that's also stuff you're reading off a sheet. And you're not listening to what I say, so shut up while I say it again. I'll tell you when you can speak, okay? It is extremely Shut up. It is extremely disrespectful. Shut up.
I'm really sorry.
Shut up. Shut up. It is extremely disrespectful to tell me that you are a mature, educated surgeon and then to persistently talk to me like a semi-literate small boy. I have repeatedly asked you to talk to me like a mature surgeon, and you have repeatedly disrespected me by refusing to do so. You may now speak.
I'm sorry. You asked me that my job. You asked me about my job. That how long I've been doing the job, and
yes. Tell me about your career.
Well, I'm an orthopedic surgery plastic doctor, and I've been doing this.
No, you're not a plastic doctor. You're a real doctor.
Yeah, I've been doing this job for over 8 years now, and
for over 8 years. What were you doing? Oh, shut up! Shut up! If you've been an orthopedic surgeon for 8 years, what were you doing before that?
Well, my father was the one that made me have this job. Besides, my father is still an orthopedic surgery doctor, and besides, is working with the UN, and
that is not an answer. Shut up. That is not an answer to my question. If you have been an orthopedic surgeon for 8 years, what were you doing before you became an orthopedic surgeon? Eight years ago, you became an orthopedic surgeon. What were you doing before that?
My work, that is what I just told you. I told you that I was a plastic surgery doctor. So I learned this job for 8 years. This orthopedic surgery I learned for 8 years. That is the same thing I'm trying to explain to you, but you keep on putting words in my mouth.
No, I don't. You told me you were a plastic doctor. Now you're telling me you were a plastic surgeon.
I said the first job I am doing before I became a surgery doctor. I'm a plastic surgery doctor. That is my before I become an orthopedic surgery doctor. Can't you understand?
Right, so you retrained 8 years ago.
Yeah, that is what I'm trying to explain to you ever since. That is why I see that you don't understand me. I try my best. I try to explain
why don't you stop talking like a semi-literate kid and explain properly like a mature educated gentleman? All you needed to say was, I became an orthopaedic surgeon 8 years ago because I decided because I decided to retrain. Before that, I was a plastic surgeon for... How long were you a plastic surgeon for?
Well, just 5 years.
So you were a plastic surgeon for 5 years, and you were an orthopaedic surgeon for 8 years. What did you do before that?
Well, I'm not doing any job before that.
So you didn't start... Right, so you didn't start work till the age of 52. Do you find that believable?
Well, it's because I didn't find job on time, and besides, I lost my parents when I'm still a little kid.
Oh, so you lost your parents... Shut up! You lost your parents when you were a small child, and that meant you didn't start work until the age of 51. Well, 52. The maths escaped to me. It might have been 51. Does that sound believable? How old were you when your parents died?
I've told you that in the message. Can't you go back to our message on Facebook?
You did not tell me how old you were when your parents died. How old?
I was at the age of 21 years old when I lost my parents.
That's not a small child, is it?
Well, at that time, I have nothing on my own doing.
Right. So it took you 30 years after your parents died to decide to become a plastic surgeon. What did you do for 30 years?
Well, that is where I decided to learn how to prescribe drugs to...
No, I asked you what you did for those 30 years. What did you do for the
20 years? At that time, I have nothing doing. I have no work. I have no job because I have no one.
Shut up and listen. Will you just shut up and listen to the question? What did you do for the 30 years?
Why are you putting word in my mouth? What is wrong with you?
What did you... I'm not putting anything in your mouth. I'm asking you. What did you do? Shut up.
Again, okay?
Well, then keep quiet. What did you do for the 30 years? The 30 years...
If you tell me to keep quiet again, I'm going to end up the call.
What did you do for the 30 years after your parents died and before you became a plastic surgeon? Your parents died 30 years.
How many times will I explain this to you?
Well, you're going to explain it now. Your parents died 30 years before you became a plastic surgeon.
I said my parents died at the age of 20. Can't you understand?
Your parents died...
At the age of 21 years, can't you understand me?
I can understand. Can you stop having a temper tantrum? Your parents died when you were 21. You became a plastic surgeon at the age of 52. I presume you can subtract 21 from 52. That leaves 30 years. 30 years between the age of 21 and 52. What did you do in those 30 years before you became a plastic surgeon and after your parents died? And it doesn't involve having a temper tantrum like a small West African boy.
At that time, first of all, I was working under the United Nations.
Doing what? Sweeping the floor, presumably.
Pardon?
I said doing what? Sweeping the floor.
I was busy taking care of the people over here.
You're not making any sense at all. You became a plastic surgeon at the age of 52. What did you do before you became a plastic surgeon?
Well, I have nothing doing. How many times will I tell you? How many times will I tell you that I have nothing doing at that time?
So you did nothing for 30 years? Your
Well,
maths is appalling, isn't it? You're 65. Well, let's go through it. I'll teach you something.
I told you that my
even
test is 65 years.
even small West African boys need to learn maths. So you're 65 now. You've been an orthopaedic surgeon for 8 years. That means you became an orthopaedic surgeon at the age of 57. 5, 6, 7, 8, yes. Before that, you were a plastic surgeon for 5 years. If you subtract 5 from 57, I think you'll find you were 52 when you became a plastic surgeon. Your parents died when you were 21. If you subtract 21 from 52, you actually get 31 years. So you're telling me that for those 31 years you did nothing. I realise you aren't 31, so you have no idea what 31 years even feels like.
At that time, to be honest with you, at that time, I was managing my mother's business because my mother is a trader.
Oh, right. Well, we might be getting somewhere. I mean, I understand you don't know the meaning of the word honest, obviously. And it's obvious you aren't 65, that's... But, okay, so what did your mother do? She had a market stall in Lagos, did she?
I know nowhere called Lagos. I haven't heard about that name before.
In that case, I either got it right in one or you're in Abuja. But your mother presumably had a market stall in one of those places.
Why? I don't know the places you're talking about.
That absolutely 100% proves...
I've not come across the places before.
That absolutely 100% proves that you are not a well-travelled, educated surgeon. You've just given the game away by pretending you don't know what every well-educated, well-travelled surgeon would know instantly. The capital and one of the largest cities in probably the largest, most populated country in Africa. So pretending you don't know them just as a highly educated surgeon just makes you sound stupid. Well, I mean, we know you are stupid, but there's no need to make yourself sound stupid. Yes, you've gone quiet now, haven't you? I think you'll find Nigeria probably is either the most or one of the most highly populated countries in Africa. Most people know about it, especially highly educated, well-travelled doctors working for the military, and who may or may not have worked under the United Nations. I mean, that was a lie, wasn't it? You don't even know what the United Nations is, do you? You've gone surprisingly quiet.
Well, I'm speechless because
I'm not surprised.
You keep on acting as if you know everything.
Well, I know a lot more than you do. I probably know more about orthopaedic surgery than you do, and I don't claim to be a doctor.
So you mean I'm claiming to be a doctor, right?
Well, that's what you've said. I mean, maybe you've decided to change your mind. Oh dear, you've disappeared. That's a shame. Are you back?
I just want to clear your doubt.
Oh, do you?
You know what?
No, but we're going to tell me.
What I have to do right now, I just have to make a blood oath for you to know that you're talking to the rightful person. And right now I'm holding a pin in my hands. I'm about to pierce my hand and you see the life blood. And I'm going to send you a picture, and I want you to do the same because I'm suspecting you as a Nigerian.
Oh, do you not recognise it? I mean, I'm surprised that someone that lives in Nigeria doesn't recognise a Nigerian accent when they hear one. Or come to that, doesn't recognise a non-Nigerian accent when they hear one. That's very strange.
Because I've tried all my best to explain to you. You keep on saying I'm a Nigerian.
Well, you are. Unless you're in Ghana, but you don't sound Ghanaian to me.
Right now. Unless what?
I said unless you're in Ghana, but you don't sound Ghanaian to me. You sound Nigerian.
Well, don't you understand that I've messed up in different countries? My accents will be far different. Can't you have that simple understanding in you?
No, I don't understand that being brought up in Germany makes you sound Nigerian.
Different countries. I've been to a different type of countries, so I've messed up a lot of people.
Awesome. Yeah, tell me where you were brought up in Germany. Berlin. Ach, guten Tag, alle Menschen werden Brüder. You've gone very quiet for someone that was brought up in Germany.
I said I was born in Berlin.
Yes,
That is where I brought.
you said you were brought up in Germany.
Yeah.
Yes, guten Tag, alle Menschen werden Brüder.
So you told me that you are from.
Yes, so you were brought up in Germany, but you don't speak German. That's a bit strange, don't you think?
Yeah, I brought up there because
But
that
you don't.
is where I was born.
But you don't speak German.
And my mother is a traveler, so idur number Jews.
Yeah, so you're brought up in Germany, went to school in Germany, but don't speak German. How does that work?
Well, I don't school in Germany. I said I brought up there in Germany.
Yes. So you didn't speak to your friends. You just walked around not talking to anyone.
Well, I don't have friends over there. I live with my parents at that point.
Yes, obviously, but you were brought up in Germany, you know. How did you manage to buy anything in a shop or get on a bus if you didn't speak German?
Well, I normally take my phone along with me and I translate.
No, you brain dead moron. You're 65. They didn't have mobile phones when you were a child. You've just given the game away.
That is what I do.
No,
I
you
took
didn't.
My phone
They
along
had.
With me
They
and
listen.
whatever I want to buy, and I play it for them to listen to it.
They hadn't invented mobile phones when you were a child. There was no such thing as a mobile phone when you were a child. They had not been invented. You could not have taken a phone with you when you were a child. You are 65 years old. Well, obviously you're not. Mobile phones have not been invented.
How long will the phone exist now? How long is phone existing now?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you that.
You don't know.
Of course I know. I was around when they were invented.
You don't know.
Shut up. I remember. Shut up.
Don't act like you know everything. You don't know.
I do know. I remember when they were the size of a brick and you couldn't even put them in your handbag. And they were about 4 cell points around the entire country. And they were literally...
I asked you some questions and you don't bother to answer.
I am answering them. Shut up. I am answering your question. 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 I remember when mobile phones were the size of a brick. They were very heavy. There was about half a dozen points around the country where you could actually use them. All you could do was make phone calls. There was no such thing as the internet. Phones did not have cameras. They didn't have a data allowance because all you could do was make a telephone call with them. And even that did not exist when you claim, obviously wrongly, that you were a child. There was no such thing as a mobile phone 60 years ago. 65 years ago. 65 years ago, telephones... Shut up. 65 years ago, telephones...
Will you keep quiet? I said phone has been existing in 1979.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. So, you really are a child, aren't you?
Calculate that.
You really are a child. There were not mobile phones in 1979, not for the general public. There might have been the occasional one for military people, but they were not available for the general public. And anyway, you were not born in 1979. You were not a child in 1979. You were an adult. I suggest you go and do some research before you make a complete fool of yourself online. It's so ridiculous. And in 1979, you were not able to use a translator on a phone. They've probably only been around for about 10 or 15 years, the translators on phones. I realise you're too young to even know that. But in that, in the late 1980s and the early 1990s, telephones didn't have data. They didn't have the internet. They didn't have cameras. They might have just started getting cameras in the 90s. But in 1979, they didn't have cameras. There was no such a thing as the internet for general use. And phones were too heavy to carry around. And the translating software had not been invented. So, if you're going to sell ridiculous lies, at least try and sound like a 65-year-old man. You know, you were probably born, in 1960 or 1961 or something. I don't know, my maths is terrible. Yes, 1960 you were born, weren't you? Well, you know, I'm sure your mother will tell you what the world was. Well, she won't. She'd be dead. I mean, she would be dead if she was. Your mother was probably born in 1960. Ask her what the world was like back in those days.
Listen to me. I said I want to send you a picture because I want you to understand everything that happened to me.
Yes, everything that happened to you is that you're about an 18-year-old Nigerian kid.
I want to tell you something that happened to me that I decided to keep.
Oh, cue the sob story. Go on.
Well, it's the accident I have in Syria.
Oh, it made you think you were a 65-year-old American surgeon instead of a 22-year-old Nigerian man, did it?
Something to you. When I have an accident by those Taliban that attack us over here in Syria.
No, I thought you were going to tell me something.
I'm going to send you a picture.
I'm not interested in your fake pictures. We both know that you've never been. You don't even know where Syria is. Go on, be honest.
In Damascus.
No, see, I knew you didn't know where it was.
I don't told you I'm from Syria alone. I said Syria, Damascus, Syria.
You don't know where Syria is. And you're certainly not 65. We both know that.
Why are you wasting my time?
No, I'm not wasting your time. You're wasting mine. It's you that's been lying, not me.
So you mean all the things I've been saying to you, I'm lying?
Well, I think that would be fairly good summing up, don't you? I mean, you're obviously not a doctor. You're obviously not 65. You obviously don't know where Syria is. You know, have you told me anything truthful? I mean, you haven't even told me where you are. Well, I do know. I mean, we know you're in Lagos because you didn't, your ridiculous denial shows that I was right first time. And I would guess you're probably about 21.
You are the one who from Lagos because I have not heard about that place before.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. You know, the fact that you say that, it gives away the game. You know, the fact that you're pretending to be sick. Oh, don't mute your microphone. That's terribly rude. Unless you want me to speak to your mate, of course. I presume your mate's there trying to tell you what to say. Probably having a good laugh at how stupid you sound. Yes.
Let
me talk to your mate. Go on. Let me talk to your mate. The one that keeps turning off the microphone. The one that keeps telling you to turn off the microphone and then tries to tell you what to say. So you've done it again because he's talking to you.
Why are you thinking like a kid?
No, it's you that's talking like... So you've turned off your microphone again. And that's what your mate's telling you to say. Put your mate on. Stop turning your microphone. Stop turning your microphone off and let me talk to your mate. Or does he identify as a parrot as well?
I don't have a mate here because I'm all alone.
Oh dear. Well, stop turning your microphone off. That is extremely rude. In fact, it's the action of a small West African boy.
It's because you don't believe me, so what will I explain to you?
Well, you could
keep on explaining.
Yeah, you could try telling me. You could try telling me something.
Explaining, and you keep on telling me the same thing.
Yeah, but because you haven't explained anything. You haven't explained to me why you were brought up in Germany but don't speak German. You haven't explained to me why being brought up in Germany gives you a Nigerian accent. You haven't explained to me why you've lied about being 65. You haven't explained to me anything. Why did you lie about being 65? You don't have an answer for that. Okay, right. So you don't know why you lied about being 65. Why did you lie about being brought up in Germany?
Well, I don't lie. I didn't lie. I didn't say anything lie to you.
Right, so you don't know why you lied about being brought up in Germany, and you don't know why you lied about being 65.
I did not lie to you. You are mad.
Well, of course you lied. You think you had a mobile phone when you were a child. I mean, come on. How stupid can you... Well, I was going to say, how stupid can you be? But I mean... that's a rather stupid question, because you obviously are stupid.
It's like you are enjoying my talk.
Oh, I am. I'm enjoying how ridiculous you sound.
I see no point in your words that you're saying to me.
No. I mean, you're obviously so stupid that even you don't understand just how stupid you are, which is a new level of stupid, really. I mean, it's one thing to be stupid, but it's another thing not to understand just how idiotic you are. I mean, that's a whole new level of idiot, really, isn't it? I mean, there's thick, dim, stupid and idiotic. And then there's, oh my God, I don't even understand how thick, dim and stupid and idiotic I am. I mean, if you're going to claim to be 65, at least do some research into what happened in, say, 1970. Tell me what happened when you were 15. What was happening in the world when you were in 1970?
I'm claiming my own age. I'm claiming someone's identity. That is what you mean.
No, you're not claiming your own age. You're claiming that you're 65. Tell me what was happening in the world in 1970.
Well, I don't know. Because...
No, because you weren't there.
Any answer I give to you, you always say it is wrong. So if you ask me anything, I won't answer anymore.
No, because you have no idea what was happening in 1970, do you? I mean, you were probably there when the Berlin Wall fell. I don't exactly remember what date that was, but you wouldn't even know what the Berlin Wall was, would you?
Hey, can I have a smoke?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. Go and just addle yourself on some weed. You can Google the Berlin Wall while you're at it.
I just want to turn up my brain with some fire.
Yeah, I think your brain needs turning up with something, that's for sure. Maybe you'll find you have a brain. That would be a novel experience, wouldn't it?
I want to put some fire in my brain.
Yeah, well, it certainly needs something, that's for sure. Imagine a 65-year-old surgeon in Syria saying that. Anyway, I'll let you go and get yourself totally addled on the weed, and I'll say goodbye, because I think we've all had enough of you now. I mean, otherwise we're going to finish up with like 2 or 3 episodes. That'd be a bit tedious, because you aren't worth it.
Are you there? So you want to leave me just like that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So, unless you want to come back and make another episode, I'm sure the viewers will be hanging on your every word. Although not if you're too addled to speak, obviously. Yes, that stuff's really bad for you, It ruins your lungs.
Oh, the weight is too strong.
Yeah, I thought it might be.
The weight is too strong. Well, you are so funny.
I know, I'm hysterical.
I'm so very happy to meet someone like you today. But
yes.
The way you talk, you sound far different, like other women. And I'm really happy to meet you.
Yes, I sound like a proper English lady, unlike you, who doesn't sound anything like a proper US gentleman. I mean, you're just a weed-addled Nigerian teenager. We all know that.
Well, is it only Nigeria that smoke weed?
No,
I'm not from Nigeria.
Well, of course you're from Nigeria. No, it's not only Nigeria that smokes weed. Everybody does it. My neighbours do it. But it's only... scammers from weed-smoking scammers from Nigeria that are so deluded that they think they're 65.
That is what you think.
No, it's what I know. You are capable of thought. You've had too much weed.
Let me smoke my weed.
Yeah, I think you better. I think you better go and do that.
My brain.
Yeah, I think you better go and do that. Goodbye. I expect you'll be horizontal on the floor soon, and then that would kind of spoil the end of the video. So we'll leave you to it now. Bye-bye, baby.
So, if you leave me just like that, you are okay?
I know, I'm fine. It's you that's struggling.
Well, you don't know how happy and how lucky I am to find someone like you. I try to explain everything about my life to you. You take it as a joke.
No, you have no idea how lucky you are, because you're going to be the star of your own video on YouTube. I mean, that's amazing. You know, not everyone can say that.
What video?
Well, the video of you talking, obviously.
You mean you're recording it right now?
Absolutely, of course I am. For training and quality purposes, you understand.
Well, you can continue recording, okay, and upload it.
No, I'm going to.
Upload it.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. You know, you might be world famous.
You're a fool.
No, it's you that's a fool. Although I'm not sure what we'll call you. Would we call you Douglas Morrison Rooney, or would we call you Beckham Rooney? Who knows? We'll find out when you find the video, won't you? I mean, assuming you remember to look for it, obviously. Yes. Huff, puff, puff, puff. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye for now, because the video is going to be far too long.
I'm sorry. Does my smoking of weed bother you?
Yes, it does. So we're going to leave it now. Otherwise, the video will be removed from YouTube for, you know, things that you shouldn't be doing on YouTube. So I'll say goodbye for now. Bye-bye, baby. He tried calling a couple more times after that, but I just ignored him. I think we'd had enough of him by then. And so that was the end of Douglas Morrison Rooney, or Beckham Rooney. I hope you enjoyed his call and his lack of understanding of what it means to really be 65. If you did, you know what to do. Please like it, please share it, please comment down below, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again in another video.